Hello, welcome back to Learn English with me. My Facebook page for my entire IELTS task speaking task part 2 question they sample on the net preparation. The Mekon Magia de Bao type low in that type low tarap separe, Nilia, Rojmale Kuma Yoma Pinyauda, Yoma Pinyauchime, Akuchin, Pame, Papi or PG map separation. So there might be parts of my answer which could probably be better, but that's okay. Because that's the most realistic way of showing how you can think on your feet. Think on your feet so go a chain jeep your missing jigar bono. Think on your feet, a chain jeep your go up bloom your pimle, a pio bloom your go, bianle don mess or a mu sensapo, no sensapulo toku, realistic pide apilio pibito map separation. IELTS speaking part 2 Piebolo Blumio Propello Amles or Bono, but Amauzo make home Patsapa de Chema, go the minute change Shiba, since I bought a bono, Erika Jargoa, note take lopa, sentence full sentence yam loba, bullet point labor ye bono. Damaku Nanamane or Pioama Palesra or Mamedo on Loba, made the day a chin lure mashibare, Palulesra, go a nervous pedale bar at a college go a duelia le hoyaudio pedetro molo, yetara lea go to a puppy though in mapsebare, a chain at the minute de she at molo, Sajan Pimi Bene, Sato do le bono, Masu ye and Nimule yibo a yijibare. And now the cut now the minute or a camera go on Namanelone bono, time GP or Namanelone, Sakapio mapsebare. So I'm going to give you my sample answer now. So I've been an English language teacher for over 10 years and I really enjoy my job. But there's one part of my job that I don't enjoy a lot, and that is writing research papers. So I want to talk about this one particular incident. My very first time submitting to a journal to an academic journal. So before we can actually submit anything to any journals, we need to conduct research, we need to write up the paper, and that already is a very time-consuming process. And for me, it took me about 6 months to do that, which I think is considered quite short in terms of research, research-wise. So even though it might be considered a relatively short time, I found it to be extremely challenging. I think I went through a variety of roller coaster of emotions. I was happy and sad, and at the same time very frustrated with a lot of different parts of the paper. So when I finally completed the paper, I submitted it to the journal, and I thought that was it, done and dusted, happy to be, done with it. Unfortunately, that's not the case. It took the journal 6 months to reply, and I got the reply, and they said that congratulations, your paper has been accepted, but with major revisions, which is, I think, something that people should feel extremely happy about. But unfortunately for me, I was feeling quite anxious already about writing, so I found it to be the most difficult part of my life. I found it to be more challenging than me writing my dissertation. Anyway, when I finally submitted and finalized my paper, I was super happy, very relieved. And you know what? I was so relieved that when I actually got the print version of my paper, I didn't even look at it because I was just so happy to be rid of it. Okay, so that was like 2 minutes and 1 second. So in the exam, the examiner will stop you if you have exceeded more than 2 minutes. 1 second, 2 seconds, of course, is not a big problem. But if you were like going on to like 10, 20, 30 seconds, they'll definitely cut you off. And that's okay because they're just gonna, continue by asking you different questions based on the answer and based on the answer and the question that you've been asked. Okay, so 2 things to remember. First, try to not paraphrase, try to not use the same vocabulary from the question. Try to use different vocabulary as much as you can throughout your speech. Second thing to remember is, even if you haven't gone through these the experience that the question is asking you, take the liberty to be creative. It doesn't have to be honest, and it doesn't have to be your actual experience. You can be creative. By that I mean lie, and just go through with the answers and use the 2 minutes as much as you can. Okay, so I'll talk more about other strategies that you can apply when you take the IELTS test, especially for the speaking part, in the next videos. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that you can listen back to your recordings and think about how you can improve your answers, and then record again and try again. Okay? All right, everybody, have a nice day.